Hello everyone, I'm Chris Mozillo, Scrutiny's son, and today I'm going to give you my opinion on opinions, and more specifically game reviews. Are game reviews reviewing a piece of art or just a toy? Can they be entirely objective, or are reviews by definition something that is entirely subjective and opinion based? It's that one, by the way. And then, what about scores? Do scores even matter? Why are scores? And why do people even care so much? I don't know. So, a review, by definition, is a critical article or report on a book, film, t-shirt, or the like. It is something that is entirely subjective, unless it's a review in the science industry, but that's because they're something completely different. Why do I mention this? Well, because there have been several incidents in which a website or publication has given a game review which people have found less than favourable. For all the cry that gaming journalism not just be part of the hype machine, when a hyped game is reviewed in a way to contrast that hype, the first response should not be complete outcry. But why can't the review just be objective? Well, objective tends to mean that statements are completely without opinion and can only be fact, normally backed by evidence. This would result mostly in game reviews reading like the back of a box, but with fewer adjectives. You'd literally get more insight about the game from the back of the box itself than an objective review. Well then, why can't the review just tell me if the game is good or not? You may ask again. That's entirely personality driven. What if I said in an objective review that a game was great and then someone disagreed? Well shit, looks like we've got opinion on the horizon and no one likes that, right? Ha 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 ha. Okay, but why not just only focus on if the game is good or not? You see, imaginary voice person used purely as a cheap structuring mechanism? Now you're asking the right questions. In recent occurrences, when a review has been met with hatred, it's because it wasn't just the gameplay that was being criticised. It was maybe something like the visuals or themes or representation of women or the characters or something. For some reason, some people just want nothing more than to know if a game has good game mechanics, but that defeats the point. That's like watching a movie exclusively for the pretty moving pictures, or reading a book for the way the paper feels on your skin, which is just the start of a very weird fetish. I sit thoroughly in the field that video games are an art form and should therefore be treated as one. This means everything is evaluated. The art, the visuals, the sound, the story, and of course the gameplay. As media has evolved, we've managed to add extra layers to them for a more immersive story, going from just a story to audio and story to adding moving pictures and now adding actual viewer input. All of this should be taken into account when reviewing something, otherwise doing a shit job at reviewing. I mean, everyone here knows that the main reason the Bayonetta 2 review was hated so much was because the writers weren't too comfy with the way the game went about representing Bayonetta, the character herself. Which is fine! A review is just that, a review. It's someone's opinion that is to, in theory, reflect the opinion of the publication itself. If you don't agree with someone's opinion, that's fine! You don't have to. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, as long as they're not physically oppressing anyone in the meantime with their swanky new armbands and hoods. Why are people so angry when there's a review that comes out of a game that the public have yet to even play? In a room of a reviewer who got the game before release and the rest of the entire public, technically only one person actually has the right to make an accurate opinion on the game, and for some reason it's the one who doesn't have a pitchfork or flaming torch. As a consumer, you should never feel offended when a game you may like, or do like, gets a negative review from someone else. You're by no means affected by a negative review, you only spent money on it, and you're getting no financial gains back. If you're going to defend something so adamantly, at least expect something out of it, like money, or, like, I don't know, pride. In both cases of Bayonetta 2 and GTA 5, some of the more vocal plaints in the reviews were the fact that gender issues were raised, or that a reviewer was transgender and therefore not entitled to an opinion. Which I guess some people may not want to see these issues talked about because they hate people, but I don't understand why you'd keep going back to a publication that you don't so strongly agree with for the advice on what games to buy. The way reviews should work is that you have a vague understanding of what the reviewing body likes and dislikes, so you can take their opinion with that in mind. I hate sports games and generally don't play them, so I don't really know why you would take my opinion on the newest FIFA super seriously, because I just don't get the appeal. Everyone has a preferred genre and style and well, everything. Find a reviewer that has roughly the same taste as you, and you might be able to play games without wanting to stab someone for disagreeing with you. Hopefully. Then finally, there are scores, a system of measuring how good a game is without having to read. That's what they mainly are. They're literally an arbitrary number of random units ranging from stars to numbers to letters. Scores ultimately mean absolutely nothing, because I find it quite difficult to try and summarize, say, 1,000 words into a single number. I guess the point of a score is to give a brief idea of if something is good or not to someone who may not want to read anything as they're just glancing through, which I guess is alright, until you realise how skewed the scoring system has become. It may be my super science background, but normally if you've got a scoring system, you want to calibrate the system so that the average is in the middle. So let's say 5 in a world of out of 10s. Like an average of every game review ever should be a 5 out of 10. However, at this moment in time, we exist where a 7 is viewed as a condemning review for a game. No one buys a game with a score of 7, as the idea is that it's shit, when it'd be in the top 30% of all games, which is really good. But at the end of the day, it's just a number, which is why people are getting enraged that an otherwise stellar review of Bayonetta 2 ended in a 7.5 on Polygon, as if that small number suddenly turns all the good things they were reading into piles of shit in their mouth. Or at 1 or 2 places not giving GTA 5 a 10 out of 10 dumb. If you want to use a review properly, you'd read the fucking thing, and then use your own mind to, like, evaluate and review the review, so you can then make an informed decision as to how to spend your money on video games, instead of just being, like, the guardian warrior of poor and defenseless Ubisoft or EA. Because, you know, if they actually cared about review scores, maybe then they'd stop making the exact same game every year. Whoops, did I just say that out loud? So yeah, reviews are entirely opinion-based. Yes, you can talk about gender representation or the use of violence or whatever in your review if that's the way you're going with your review. Behold the world of art critique in all of its glory. And yes, scores are completely worthless. However, I will give this video a 32.9 out of 47. I know, it's a damning score, but somehow, I think I'll find a way to live on. Well hey there, thank you for watching my video, which I'm assuming you have, so even me made it to this message. Just quickly, if you want to ever watch anything else I've done, feel free. In theory, I have put annotations on the screen right now, so feel free to click on those. There's probably more game-related, video game-related videos related about video games. Leave any feedback you like, if it's hate-filled or whatever, you know, review my review of my review. That's how that works. Anyway, toodaloo. I don't know. And scene. Oscar goes to me. Poor lighting, direction. Ugh, my hair was much better the first time I filmed this. For all the cry that gaming, I sit. Again, when people don't want game reviews to just be an extended marketing scheme of I can't actually read. If you want to review, that's the camera pieces. I'm done.